Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Yahweh, being the name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem, meaning in the name of Yahweh Shai, being the name of Yahweh's only begotten Son and our Lord and Savior, also who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Bahashem Rakakwadash, meaning in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect that scatter abroad to the four corners of the earth, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, and shalom to you speckled birds and your Israelite faunus that scatter out in other nations that look like other nations, but are, in fact, Israelites. And the title of this lesson is, All Animals Will Be at Peace with Us. All right. And the spirit, is put on me to go into this topic, because earlier, I was creating, some art, some pictures, pretty much, depicting how, it's going to be in the kingdom. All right. Because in the kingdom, brothers and sisters, are literally, going to be able to dwell, with, animals and beasts that are typically considered to be dangerous on this side. All right. Like lions, bears, tigers, gorillas, snakes, if you like those type of animals and whatnot, you're literally going to be able to dwell, with those type of creatures. All right. Including our children, in the book of Isaiah chapter 2, it talks about how, roughly paraphrasing, it goes into how, a young child, would, lead a lion, a wolf, a bear, a cow, so on and so forth. It just lists of different animals. All right. Letting you know that ultimately in the kingdom, we won't have anything to worry about. All right. We won't have to worry about our kid getting or children getting eaten up by a wild beast, so on and so forth. Why? Because ultimately, that's one of the blessings that's going to come upon the nation of Israel. All right. Starting with the elect is immortality. And with immortality, you can't die as it is. So what makes you think that, you will get harmed, by animals? All right. So we're going to be in league, with the beast of the field, like the scriptures tell you in the book, of Salakia, in the book of Job, chapter 5. All right. I'm going to get that in a few, but it talks about how, we're going to be in league with the beast of the field. All right. And that not only does that go for the kingdom, but that goes for the times that we're coming into right now, all right, known as Jacob's trouble, because when all hell break loose, Jacob's trouble is in full effect, society collapse, you're literally going to have, animals, wild animals out here roaming the streets, all right, because what do you think going to happen to the zoos, all right? Those animals that's within the zoos and whatnot, they're going to be let loose, all right? And, here recently, over the past few years, it's been examples of, chaos erupting, in particular cities. You have individuals that will go to the zoo, and let out, lions, or giraffes and whatnot. All right. So what do you think is going to happen when Jacob's trouble, is in full effect? Those animals are going to be let loose. You're going to have tigers, lions, bears, gorillas, alligators, so on and so forth. You name it, you got it. They're going to be out here roaming the streets. But if you're of the elect, if you're an elect brother, elect sister, so on and so forth, you're going to be protected, and those animals are going to be in league with you. All right. They're going to be in peace with you. All right. They're not going to bother you. But you 2/3, Lord willing, we don't be of that number. All right. The 2/3, those that's not of the elect, the other nations and whatnot, they're going to be getting terrorized by these animals. All right. It tells you that there be spirits created for vengeance, and teeth of wild beast is one of those things that are going to be judging people. All right. But I don't want to get, too ahead. I'm going to bring out those scriptures, later on in this lesson. All right. So nevertheless, we are going to be in league with the animals. All right. We're going to be in peace with the animals. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the scriptures, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to you brothers and you sisters out there. All right. So to begin with, I want to start off with Genesis chapter 1, and let's read verse 26. And it says, and power said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. All right. So, hey, initially, we're supposed to have dominion and over, the things that creepeth upon the earth, the animals, the fishes of the sea, so on and so forth. Now, let's look up this word. I'm pretty sure a majority of you know what dominion means, but I just want to bring it out for edification purposes. So it says sovereignty or control. All right. It says the territory or of a sovereign or government. All right. So ultimately, we're supposed to have control, and rulership over, the animals that creepeth upon the earth, so on and so forth. The animals, the fish in the sea. All right. And it's going to be going back to that. All right. Because that's initially how it's supposed to be, So let's go back. Let's get Salakia. Do I want to get let's go to Romans chapter 8. And let's start at verse 18. All right. And it says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that should be revealed in us. All right. Because, the sufferings that we're going through right now, it's ultimately just going to lead us, to, that blessing. All right. Yahushua, he suffered on the earth, and look at him now. All right. He received everything. So it's going to be the same way for the elect. All right. Verse 19. And it says, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So the creature, including like the animals, all right, they're patiently waiting, for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, for the elect to be, sealed. Because once the elect is sealed, the sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is made manifest, everything's going to be set back in order. All right. Because right now, you have the animals, they're locked up in these zoos, these small little cages. Right. They can't get out. This summertime, I was at the zoo, and, I was looking at the animals and looking at their expressions on their faces. They look depressed. All right. You had, lions, in cages, and all they want to do is just sleep. All right. And that's it. They didn't look lively at all. They just looked depressed, like somebody that's in jail or in prison. All right. But once the elect, is in rulership, the sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is made manifest, everything's going to be made, put back in order. All right. The animals are going to be able to be, free. All right. Roam around the earth, like they should be, and the way they're supposed to be. All right. Verse 19, it says, verse 20, it says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who had subjected the same in hope. Verse 21, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Because ultimately we're going to be delivered from these, messed up, effed up bodies that we're in right now. All right. We're in bondage, being these, these mortal bodies. All right. This corruptible flesh. Verse 22, and it says, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth and pain together until now. All right. So, the whole creation is groaning. All right. Including the animals, but very soon the animals are going to be able to be free. All right. Roam around the earth, have correct rulership and dominion over them. All right. So I just want to bring that out for edification purposes. Let's get Proverbs chapter 29. In verse 2, and it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right. And that includes the animals as well. All right. Because, the wicked is in authority right now. All right. These animals are locked up in cages, not being able to be free, but when the righteous are in authority, they're going to be able to be free animals. All right. Roam around the earth, in paradise. All right. you know. So, hey, not only do the people mourn, but the animals are mourning as well. And it's clear to see. Just go to the zoo and look at the expressions on these on these animals' faces. All right. But let's go ahead and get into the whole point, of this lesson. All right. We are going to be in league, with the animals and whatnot. All right. So let's get Job chapter 5 and let's start at verse 23. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 19. All right. Let's get the whole context of this whole matter. And it says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. All right. So if you are the elect, you're going to be delivered from the times that we're coming into. All right. You're going to be delivered from things that may befall you in Jacob's trouble. All right. And the ultimate trouble, that's coming to the earth, World War III, the ultimate destruction. You're going to be delivered from that. All right. It won't touch. None of those things will touch you. Verse 20. And it says, in famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. All right. So, hey, these type of things, if you're of the elect, it's not going to do anything to you. All right. The Lord, he's ultimately going to protect you from these things. Verse 21. And it says, Salakia, verse 21, it says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. All right. If you're the elect, no type of destruction is going to come near you. All right. Verse 22, it says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. All right. Because we're going to be in league with the beasts of the earth, the animals that are typically considered to be dangerous and wild. All right. The Lord's going to have the spirit on particular animals to not even do anything to you if you cross their path. All right. Verse 23. Now, this is the point. And it says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee. All right. So it says in league, it says conspiring with another or others. Let's see what it says by similar. It says collaborating with, cooperating with, in cooperation with, in alliance with, allied with, conspiring with, leagued with, linked with, hand in glove with, in collusion with. All right. So also it says in cahoots with. So the animals, they're going to be in league with us, all right, allied with us, all right. They're not going to be, in the spirit of trying to harm us, all right, especially if you're of the elect. If you're not of the elect, that's another story, because the scriptures tell you that, there's going to be spirits of vengeance out here, all right, and teeth of wild beasts is going to be one of those things that's ultimately going to judge, 2/3 of our people, these other nations that's dwelling here in Babylon the Great, so on and so forth. All right. So let's go back and let's read verse 25, verse 24, and it says, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. Thou shalt visit thy habitation and shalt not sin. Verse 25, thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thy offspring as the grass of the earth. All right. So pretty much that's that on that. The whole point, me bringing out, these verses in this chapter is to show you that, we're going to be in league with the animals. All right. They're not going to harm us. We're going to be, they're going to be at peace with us. All right. And not only, is it going to be like that here, in Jacob's trouble, but it's also going to be that way in the kingdom as well. All right. Like I said earlier, but, the point being, right now in the times that we're coming into, you're going to be able to be in league with the animals. All right. If you're of the elect, because, as I stated earlier, animals are literally going to be roaming the streets. All right. When all hell break loose, a good example, that to think about, if you have seen the movie I Am Legend, in the beginning of the movie, it was Will Smith and his German Shepherd. They was out hunting for a deer. in the midst of them hunting, they came across a lion, roaming through the street. All right. So ultimately, it's going to be the same way in the times that we're coming into. All right. You're going to have these type of wild beasts and wild animals out here roaming the street. All right. But if you're of the elect, you're going to be protected. All right. The Lord's going to have the spirit on animals to be in league with you. All right. So let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 39. And let's start at verse 28. And it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua literally got spirits, specifically created to rain, judgment on people. All right. Verse 29, it says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Now verse 30 is the point. And it says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. All right. So all these things are, created for vengeance, to bring forth judgment on the wicked. All right. Those of our people, and also these other nations that's here in Babylon the Great. All right. They're going to be judged by teeth of wild beast. But if you're of the elect, you won't have to worry about that, because you're going to be in league with the beasts of the field. All right. Like it said in Job chapter 5. But I want to end off with Isaiah chapter 11, because as I stated earlier, I believe at the beginning of this lesson, our kids and our children, are going to be able to be at peace, be able to just, freely roam around outside and whatnot. All right. And not have to worry about, getting attacked by a wild beast and whatnot, So let's get Isaiah chapter 11. And let's start at verse let's start at verse 6. All right. And it says, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. All right. So particular animals are going to be, dwelling with each other without even trying to, attack each other. All right. But the point being is at the end of this verse where it says, and a little child shall lead them. All right. So you're going to have a little child, all right, a little toddler or something like that. All right. Leading these animals without these animals trying to attack that child. All right. That's the blessings that's going to come upon the nation of Israel. All right. An Israelite child, is going to be able to dwell amongst these type of animals without getting harmed. Let's continue. Verse 7. And it says, and the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. Verse 8. And the sucking child shall play on the hole of an asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. All right. So an asp is a type of a serpent, a snake, and the cockatrice den, is basically like a snake's den. All right. So here you have it. You're going to have little children, babies, playing, around snakes. All right. Cockatrice dens. All right. The hole of an asp. All right. Venomous snakes. This is what that's talking about. Venomous snakes. All right. Verse 9. And it says, they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. All right. So, hey, there you have it. It's going to be completely peaceful in our kingdom, so much to the point where, wild beasts, venomous snakes are not even going to harm us. All right. They're not even going to harm our children. Our children are going to just be able to roam around and be around these type of animals, without even getting harmed. All right. So, hey, the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's soon to come, is going to be, far out of this world. All right. things, something that we can't even fully fathom. All right. Just imagine being able to be around, you know, uh, a grizzly bear, or, lions and tigers. All right. Being able to have them in your palaces, so on and so forth, without them even trying to attack you. Right. Literally having them as pets. All right. This is what's coming to us. All right. So hey, just continue to endure and you'll see this firsthand. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and exhorting to you brothers and you sisters out there that scattered to the four corners of the earth. And as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to you brothers that's out there pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom.